one. Hi there, I'm Dani Henderson. Today is July 21st, and oh my golly gosh, gee wow, I have the one and only Psychic Ali. Hi, Psychic Ali.
Hi. Oh, I love you.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, just been out with my family. We had dinner out, so that was lovely. Saw my grandchildren, so that was just wonderful.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's everything. Now, I've got a question for you, and I'm pretty sure you can't answer it, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What's it like being so pretty, Ali Prescott? I mean,
Well,
seriously.
you know, because you are.
Your husband does. Gregg Prescott from
I know, we do.
Turns it round. No, Ali, this is your hour. This is all about you. All right, I'm going to jump in and tell the people that are going to see this just who you be, and then we're going to share more about you.
Okay.
Ladles and jelly beans. This is the one and only UK psychic, Ali, and she's been going for a long time. This woman is prolific. She is such a worker, such a server, an amazing teacher. And this woman literally lives to serve and teach. And she teaches psychic development. She's an expert in tarot. She's an expert in astrology. And once or twice a week, she gets on screen with her husband, Gregg Prescott, who I also interviewed this week from In5D, and they give global predictions. And last night, Ali, just so you know, I didn't ever before go on your Rumble. Oh my God, what a scream. You do a live Rumble, you set up the chat, people can jump in the chat, and you guys share all the crazy moronic videos or, you know, conspiracy theory videos.
Yeah.
It's much fun. It completely distracted my entire evening, and I can't stop watching. So, as you want to bring people tools and teachers and help and places to go, Ali, I couldn't be prouder today to bringing you on my channel. I really couldn't.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I want to ask you, first of all, when do you remember realizing that you have a talent to know the future, to know what's happening, and to know that you have all this metaphysical skills?
Well, I think when you're, I mean, everybody's naturally got it. I do believe that you're born with it from birth. You've got that kind of energy. You're blending with your mother, the mother energy. Your mum blends with you, you know, so it's natural. But to be able to really use it, it just kind of happened. It's like, you know, someone will say, I'm fine, you know, I say, how are you? And they go, I'm fine. And you just know they're not. You just feel it. It's like an empath energy that just flows towards you. And you're like, I know that they're not okay. And so there's that. And then knowing things are going to happen before they happen. But I didn't say it. I didn't speak it. I didn't, you know, a lot of people do that. It's like, I knew that was going to happen, but it's no good saying, well, I knew that was going to happen, because people won't believe you. But later on, it's like you just go, you know, I am going to trust. And then I was gifted some tarot cards and a workbook manual for the tarot readings. And I just sat and taught myself tarot. And from then on, it was just, it's like, that's my thing. That's what I adore, is the tarot cards. So I only do astrology with my tarot. I don't know much more about astrology, so I wouldn't say I'm expert, but I do a lot of tarot though. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So, and also it's really important to kind of clear up smearing and smearing from different facets of religious thinking or different aspersions that people cast on tarot. Everything we do is with intention. So I could sit with a Holy Bible, and just because I'm holding the Bible, does it mean that I'm going to do good things with that Bible? No. How do we know? It's in the heart, isn't it? So, and of course, people don't understand tarot cards. Don't mess that up with that foul Crowley bloke. Ugh.
Yes.
Let's go way back down the timeline to when the tarot was actually created. It was created for the people as a means of storytelling, because back then, like much like they're trying to do now, we weren't even allowed to sign our names. We weren't educated. So we had to have pictures, stories. This is where tarot came from. What else can you tell us about that?
Yeah, exactly. It's to do with love. And if your intention is love, which I am, and I know you are, if it comes from love energy, then it's all good. But there are people out there that use the tarot and they use it in a negative way. You know, they haven't got love in their heart and their intention. So it is all to do with intention. I believe the tarot, but the tarot do wonderful things. The stories, the intricate stories that tarot cards can tell you, you know, you can literally do your life, and you can pick all the cards and tell your life story with the cards. In fact, that's what I do on some of the tarot workshops. I go, right, you got all your cards, you know what they are, you know what each card means. I want you to pick cards that tell the story. What cards would come out when you were going through puberty, or what cards would come out when you had your first love, what cards would come out when you had your first upset, what cards. So you can literally tell, like you said, stories with the tarot.
Yeah. Now, there are cards, of course, and I remember one of the first times I went for a tarot reading, I didn't like it because I didn't like what I saw. I got the Tower card and the woman's reaction, and I didn't understand at that time. So I didn't care for her response, and she kind of freaked me out. And then, of course, in church, you're told, oh, it's so bad, you know. I'm like,
exactly.
oh my God, it's true, it's true. And then my life fell apart after that reading. But I got the Tower card, I was warned. And because I got that card, I was a little bit more aware. And I thought about a couple of things that potentially might go wrong. And I was actually able to preempt one or two things before. So it taught me a lesson. Why are you judging, Dani? What do you know about it? You're listening to the religious nuts, you're listening to this person, and it's done with the heart. We read with our hearts, don't we? When we're engaging, is that tarot reader a good person, or is she a gypsy? I mean, there's been one whacking around on, you know, YouTube for ages, taking people over here and trying to, you know, mind control. It's so obvious that she's a psyop. Someone like you, this blonde, light, bright, happy, giggly, emotive, emotional, real, raw, that's a huge difference. You know, and that's why you and Gregg Prescott, who also is amazing, tarot, astrology, you two should be the two that we go to, that we watch, and we go, oh, what are Gregg and Ali doing? You know, what's Ali doing tonight? Tell us a bit about your teaching, the classes that you hold every week in England.
Every week I do a face-to-face one, but that's kind of more of a closed circle because it's around my mum's house. And, you know, my mum likes it, you know, she wants it to be ladies, unless it's gay men. I mean, there's 2 gay men that come, that's fine. But she feels much easier. She's had a hard time, you know, in her life. So, but we have like a regular group there, and that's every other Wednesday. And then every Monday, anybody can join. It's £5 a week, £5 a class on a Monday at 7:30 p.m. UK, which is 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. And each week we do something different. We just, you know, I teach, you know, from one week we'll do astrology and tarot, and the next week we'll do channeling, automatic writing, remote viewing, psychic detective work, you know, astral travel, Akashic records, you know, and on it goes. So, you know, each week there's something different, and you can join at any time, and you can be a beginner or you can be advanced. I kind of always say to somebody, if they're going to come to a class and you want to develop, then always push yourself just outside your comfort zone, just a little bit outside your otherwise you're not going to progress. You know, so you've got to kind of think to yourself, is this what I want? But some people come because they need the social life, and they've got not a lot of people around them, and it's lonely out there sometimes. So, you know, we have people that, you know, are there and they're just wonderful human beings, you know, and they just they have a go at things, and it's very lighthearted. So it can be that. So it's a mixture.
I can't believe you only charge £5, £5, £5 That's like $3.50 or something in American dollars. Now, I do want to say, you mentioned channeling, and everyone's got their opinion. I'm really against channeling if the person is ridiculously opening up their body and letting some friggin' energy come in and take them over. I am
we don't do
so anti that.
Yeah.
Me, that is demonic. You know, when someone
Yes.
says, hold on, oh my God, I am Joan of Arc. Oh, wait, here comes Satan. He wants to jump in my body too. Very terrifying, very scary. I'm completely against it. And I know that you only work in the light. So can you help us to understand, what would you say to people who are so programmed to be terrified of channeling? Explain the difference, what you actually share to help people develop, and that satanic practice of letting a spook take over your entire body, which we are completely against.
Yeah. I do know an absolutely amazing trance medium. I do know that. Her name's Elaine Thorpe, and she's definitely not anything to do with the demonic side at all. She channels through her spirit guide, who's called Jonathan Hunter, an old Victorian gentleman. You tend to fall in love with him. And he predicted what was going to be happening with this wave of people going to be going over. He said there was going to be a mass exodus. Never said anything like that before, but here we are, and you know what happened. So, but really channeling is more to do with your spirit guide, your loved ones, automatic writing, picking up a pen, and it's like you're talking to yourself, and you're trusting what you're getting. It's all to do with again, I'm going to go back to the love vibrational energy. You know when there's something not nice. You know, you feel sick, you feel agitated, you know, there's lots of, it's all, if you think of all the negative energies, that is definitely going to be, you need to close down, regroup yourself, put your protection up. But the first lesson that you're supposed to learn is protection, all the time, protection. And these demonic energies, they're trying to get in any which way they can at this moment. It's like, you know, so not to scare anybody, but you know, you're powerful. You're powerful. You can put yourself in this beautiful, it's like in the middle of a crystal ball. Imagine in the middle of a crystal ball, and imagine you can put glitter around the outside of your bubble, of your crystal ball. You can even put mirrors up. So if you know you're going into a situation where someone's going to be, you know, there might be arguments, you know, we have that sometimes with family, or friendships and things, you know, and you think, oh, here we go, they're all going to be drinking, you know what's going to happen. Put your mirrors up around and facing outwards. So if anything comes at you, it goes straight back. You're not sending it, because we can't send bad energy at people, because it will come back to a threefold. But I think just normal, you know, that's what you do when you're doing a reading. You're channeling through your spirit guides, because you're not just saying that card means that, that card means that. You're then being given a scenario in your third eye. It's playing out a scenario, and that comes from your guides, in your loved ones. And as long as you've got your strong team around you, you'll know if something's infiltrating. You'll know. Yeah.
You know, it's so interesting how each of us has our own way of breaking things down. Like I always say, like in terms of guides, like I do not rely on guides for anything. You know, there's more of a I trust the higher aspects of myself, my soul self. I've seen myself in the future. I've connected with my future self, like physically. She appeared in the room, end of the bed, scared the shit out of me. I punched her, she was solid, and I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna have to fight her. Then I realized that's me. So I know that when we're connecting to our higher self, it could be our future, our present, and even our past to an extent. You know, there's people that say, oh, my guide's Archangel Michael and Jesus and this and that and this and that. Exactly. Thank you for nodding your head there. I really want us to help people. Let's put on the screen together. I really want us to help people to kind of understand the realities, because and if I hear one more person say, oh, the new age, I'm going to slap somebody, honestly. Right? This is the ancient before the beautiful Christ came along, and then his story was hijacked and turned into a religion. Okay, And if we're going to be affected, that's all right. It's okay. We can look at those triggers. If we don't believe we're being programmed by the church and by people who speak through the Bible, then, you know, it's going to be upsetting to hear this information, but that's okay, because we have a duty to tell the truth. So all of the understandings of the indigenous beings, the earth beings that were here, you know, before the religions came along, of course we were all connected to spirit. Of course we were connected to the heartbeat of our beautiful planet. Of course we were able to see the dimensions. Of course we were. It's just assholes coming along and saying, well, if you say that, you're going to go to hell. You're doomed. And you're doomed. You know, kiss my ring, kiss my ass, kiss my foot, and then you'll be freed. And let's have a shag around the back while no one's looking.
Exactly.
That's me, that's religion, you know, honestly. It's just been so hijacked. Spirituality has been hijacked. What you and I do, what you do in particular, is a beautiful, compassionate, respectful of each person that comes in front of you. You're respecting their ancient lineage, their ancestry, their soul, and it is beautiful. And I'm glad you don't let anybody shit on that from the modern day, which is, let's say modern day being the last 2,000 years or so, we're told, you know. Tell me, what brings you joy when you have somebody in front of you for the first time, when you're giving them one of your beautiful sessions?
To see when they first are sitting in front of me, and you can feel the energy, you can feel the heaviness, you can feel the sadness in their heart. And as you're kind of going through each particular point, you know, where they might be blocked, or they might be fearful, nervous, in doubt, as the reading goes on and it starts to open up, like their story starts to open up, and I'm getting excited because I'm seeing what they're going to be doing, and I add in affirmations in there, the positivity. So it's like, I call it timeline weaving. So, you know, like you did, you were given a message, you were given the tower. Now the tower can have, it depends what cards are around it. If you have the tower, it's a shake-up, but it can be as simple as clearing out your cupboards and drawers, and there's chaos around. It can be emotionally having a big argument. It could be financially something's happening. Depends if it's a pentacle, a cup, or something else with it. So once you go through that, and you can then ask and see if they want to ask direct questions. I do use my dice with the direct questions as well. And once you do that, and you can feel their shoulders start to relax, their smile comes on their face, and by the end of it, they feel empowered. They feel as though they can do more than they thought, you know, and they are in charge. Positive energy is what is needed. All the time you think you deserve bad stuff, you're going to get bad stuff, you know. So you just it's about kind of just planting seeds. Some people are very spiritual, and they know that what the negative wording that they're using every day, they know that that's going to bring them more of the same, you know, but they've forgotten. So sometimes it's just a reminder saying, when was the last time you did some you know, like a vision board? You know, when was the last time you did you know, prayers, affirmations, cosmic ordering, law of attraction? They're kind of the same thing. It's to do with an intention. It's love. Visualize yourself, you know, if you want a relationship, then universe, thank you so much for bringing me my perfect relationship. They're everything I need and more, you know. And it's a statement that might not yet be true, but it then starts to happen. It starts to manifest it. Instead of saying, I've not got anyone, I've not got anyone, I've not got anyone, I've not got anyone, cancel, clear, delete all them. So when that starts to happen, what are you going to get? You're going to get more of the same of what your mantra is. Yeah.
Really important point. The thing we focus on, we get. So if we're focusing on fear and terror, and I haven't got a man, and I haven't got a house, and I need a new car, and then it just perpetuates that frequency, because we're so connected with the universe, and so we match that bandwidth, we match that frequency. And like you say, if when you remind people to focus on, you know, leveling up and focusing on what they want, like they have it, then there's going to be a matching frequency. These are the things that people call it quantum mechanics, quantum physics, the quantum field. Lynn McTaggart calls it the field, the sea of possibilities, or the field of connection. It doesn't matter what we call it, whatever system we're in, science, religion, history, metaphysics, spirituality, it's all the same thing. It's all love, and it's the way we talk to ourselves. So the more we're like a bloody moaning Minnie, and I was the best moaning Minnie I ever met, moaning about this and moaning about that, my life is crap. Then it got more crap. I'm like, oh, look at that. Look what I did. Look what I did. And we're right in that point now, aren't we, Ellie, where we're really encouraging everyone to take responsibility for their actions, their thoughts, their speech. You know, so if I pop out and I whack somebody for being rude, let's say I have a little pop, you know, I mean, I'd like to smack Biden around, I'd like to smack Trump around, I'd like to sort them all out, stand them all out. I'd like to say, oh, you Bates, the guy that, you know, sounds like Bates, right? Where your heart fell out, it's missing. Oh, you're soulless, this person, that person. But anyway, I'm digressing, so just being silly, but not really. But anyway, when you see, as we do, when you sit with somebody and you know that they are projecting how good, how great, because they're in that loop and they're not taking responsibility and they're blaming. I mean, how many people do you sit in front of that just blame everybody else? And I know with your heart, you see it, you feel it. Give us a little bit of an insight and into how you would help somebody, because you're not uninsulting, direct like that. Like, you're really kind and and gentle, but you do tell the truth, which I love that about you.
I do.
How would you let that person know, you know, Dolly Daydream, that, you know, she's done nothing wrong to create her life? How would you turn her around into accepting responsibility? What techniques would you use?
I always say, we're going to turn this around and I'm going to talk to you the way that you've just talked. What advice would you give me back? You know, if I said, you know, you said to me that this, you know, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, but it's not my fault, I had nothing to do with it. What's your gut feeling on that? You know, and so we have the power and the strength to turn this around and say, I'm not going to go there. I don't want to be a victim. Why do I want other people to feel sorry for me all the time? What energy is what is that doing? That energy, you know, people don't want to be around people who are, you know, down and low vibrational energy. So, you know, you might be feeling depressed and low, and it's like, well, that's why people can't be around you, because they're on a higher frequency. So if you want to be around higher frequency people, then you've got to work on your own higher frequency. You're the one that's got to be sorting your energy out and thinking, would you want to spend some time with you, basically? So,
oh, Ali, that's a big one. Would you want to spend some time with you?
Yeah,
that's a really big one. Ali, can you remember when you were a little girl, like seeing spirit or angels, or, you know, having that kind of eye, that clairvoyance?
It was always at the corner of my eye. I didn't see spirit. I wish I did. Every now and again I'll see somebody, like I'll see a person and I feel it and I know somebody's standing next to them. You know, and sometimes I've actually seen a man on horseback before. It was in on the way to Dover, no, on the way to Ashford, and there's this long road, and I saw this kind of like, it's, you know, when they used to have the cloaks that went over the back of the horse.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So that's what I was seeing, and I was seeing this white horse, and this rider on this white horse. That was something else. That's probably the strongest one. And I didn't know it was outside this pub, basically, that we were driving past. And I didn't take much notice until I had a mediumship. I went to a mediumship demonstration, and they said, you've seen spirit before, haven't you? And I said, yeah, I think so. And they said the Alma, and I couldn't take it because I didn't know what it was. I didn't understand. And I said, I didn't want to say anything to them. I said, I'll look into that, because I hate it when people say no, because you don't know until you check it out later, do you? So when I spoke to my mum, she said, that pub that it is the Alma, it's called the Alma.
Wow.
And so they were giving me the proof that yes, I had seen spirit at that time. But do you see spirit often?
Oh my God, yeah,
If
absolutely.
Yeah.
Last night I actually I'm staying in an Airbnb, and I rang the lady who owns this place, because a woman, an old lady, and I'm very strict, and I am really unforgiving if a cocky spook, an earthbound, whatever, comes near me, because it's not going to be pretty for them. When they know you're clairvoyant, they will rock up. And after years of being tormented by so many spooks, I'm like, I don't have it. But last night, first time in a while, this old lady wandered into the bedroom. She was wearing a nightie. She was very frail. She had long gray hair to the shoulders, and she was very confused, like a dementia, like a, I don't understand where I am, in a really pretty colored nightie. Anyway, I yelled, like I punched, because I'm so violent. It's just fun. Like, I'm not having spooks coming near me. Like, it's not going to be, and we get to do that. And we don't be in awe of anything, of leaders, of kings, of queens, of governors, of boys, of girls, of husbands, of wives. No, no, no. Respect everyone. Respect their boundaries. Respect their space. That's your job. And then so I called the landlady, and I said, the Airbnb, and I said, okay, did somebody die here? And I said, I'm completely fine if they did. I don't care. I said, I've seen spirit my entire life. I just want to know if anyone died here. And she said, no. And then I carried on chatting to her a bit longer. And then I realized where it came from, which is elsewhere on this Airbnb beautiful place. Let's put it that way. It came from another building. Yeah, so that lady who had died there just kind of came walking through, let's put it like that, because it happens a lot, it happens a lot. So
yeah.
I'm confused, and then we have an opportunity, I feel, and come, and so I just literally went in, said prayers, and asked for angelic support, and because sometimes when I've known over the years so many earthbounds, so old people, they're so programmed, they're so scared to go to the light because they fear they're going to go to hell, because that's
exactly what I say. Yeah,
right. It's the curse and the evil, in my mind, of religion. That trap our beautiful beloveds. I don't want people to go into fear and go, oh my God, is my nan okay? Is my granddad okay? But just some people. And so there are people like me and Ali guys out there. Okay, just so you know, when we see them, we love them home. We love them home, and they'll come to us.
We do.
Yeah,
we do.
Now, you mentioned about your feeling element is stronger. And we know there are 4 clairs: clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, and claircognizance. Would you say you are more clairsentient?
Yes, I would say. I always say my forte is future predictions, predicting the future, affirmations, being able to, psychic counseling. I have actually got a tab on my website it says psychic counseling. So, it's very difficult for people to be able to get a counseling session with somebody, just normal counseling. Sorry?
You just froze, but it was so beautiful. It was a perfect shot.
I wasn't doing
like
that.
That's totally me.
Yeah,
that's usually me.
Sometimes it's but me, spirit people do come through, but they don't come through every single reading. But who is telling me the mannerisms, the way I word things, that's spirit. But I'm so kind of in love with the cards. That's my trouble. I don't slow down. But if someone says, can you pick up on my auntie, what's it, or then I can tune in and do that. But my forte is future predictions. Yeah.
That is so great. And again, you and your husband, Gregg Prescott from In 5D, he's been, again, a man that's been a trailblazer. Like, you're the English light and he's the American light. And now you've obviously found each other on this beautiful journey. And I did actually interview you and him on my channel a while ago. Kind of twin flame soulmate story is so beautiful. It's just so lovely. I wanted to share it and share you both. And now I've completely sidetracked my own brain, which happens all the time. But
me too.
you know, but you're saying that the claircognizance, the knowing. So what are some of the things that when you guys get together and you do your global predictions, you do it every week and it's free to the public to get on your YouTube channel in 5D, to get on your Facebook page, Psychic Ali, LLY, I believe, because I know it's written a couple of different ways. We'll put your links under here, but tell us when you, Ali, have given global predictions like months ago and you've actually seen those things come to pass.
I mean, I knew that there was going to be a mass awakening with the children. I knew that, and I didn't know it was going to be the sound of freedom. I didn't know that was going to be part of it. I was given a visualization of each month. I believe that they're concentrating on one topic, one thing wrong with this world. So one month it'll be all about the pharmaceutical companies. The next month it will be all about the monetary system, crashing down. The next month it will be, and I knew it, that's what they were going to be doing, is, and they showed it like a rotation. And it's all the awakening. And I'm not so sure it's not planned. The whole thing's not planned. But it's like blending in now. But we did some Christmas at Christmas time. Greg and I, New Year, we did New Year predictions. And I think there was about 3 hours worth of us giving what we'd channeled through, what we've been told by our guides. And it was like, and a lot of them, I'm no good at remembering them. I need to write them down, really. My memory is so bad. But I know Greg's been, one was the seeing the planet. It was a planet on the golf course, and I know that he said that in your last interview with him. And it's like, so people seeing an obvious another planet, or two suns, or things like that. All of that awakening is this is a glitch in the matrix. It's all happening. It's all evolving. I'm very excited for all the changes. I think I can't wait for to me it's about the children mainly. Rescuing the children is my biggest. I pray for that every day. I mean, everybody does, but I was very excited with the sound of freedom, because whatever you think of it, whatever it is getting people speaking about it, rather than it being all hidden and hushed away and nobody wants to talk about it. It's like all of that is coming about. So yeah,
it really is. I cannot believe that the impact, and as much as the negatives want that shut down, they're buying all that. So when I went the first time, July 4th, I was one of the only people in the theatre, and I'm like, that's weird, where is everyone? It said it was sold out. I was really frantic to get a ticket, and I took the last awfulest seat because that's what was left. And then I saw it that first day. I thought, oh my God, they're gonna lie. So people are buying up tickets, but all the news channels now. I just got a strike, as you know, for talking about that very movie.
Was you? I'm sorry.
No, I'm gonna talk about it. It's the most important thing that I've seen happen in 20 years, you know. And it is so beautiful that the terrible hardships that our babies have endured and doing and are, that they are the ones who have brought the light. It's them.
Yes.
that has turned this entire world upside down. It's them that has, because to me, the leaders, there's several of them who are owned by demonics. You can see. And again, I want people to really start to learn to trust themselves, because they don't always need a psychic reader, a medium, a tarot reader, an angel reader, a vicar, a pope, a preacher, or whatever. We need to remember that we've all come in as brilliant, brilliant, self-realized human beings, and we naturally have an ability to feel friend or foe, evil or good, or intention, or a manipulator, or and feeling when I'm looking at someone, let's say on television, I can feel that the sound, the tone, the frequency, the vibration. Now, people like you're a little more developed than most people because this has become your life.
Yeah.
Someone working in a 9 to 5, coming home, making dinner for the kids, waiting for his wife to come in the door, all of that, whatever. People then don't spend as much time in self-development. So you are way more developed than most people that you'll meet. That's why they come to you. But you see, when you are sitting, minimum once a week, you and your mother, hi, Patricia, guys are like making the effort to teach, to share everything. This is what we need more teachers to give us insight into our own abilities, and not stay with them forever, not get 15.
Take back your power. Yes.
Right. So if you're advising someone who's saying, I always know when something's going to happen, I always get these feelings, and when I watch TV and I look at these leaders, I'm like, ooh, how would you advise them to trust that?
Journaling. Start writing down or recording it on your phone. Start writing down the things that you're getting. Write the date, the time, because sometimes that's the most important thing. Because if you're getting information about something that like a world event, or disclosure of some kind, and you've got it, you've listed it, and it hasn't happened until the future, then because you've written down the date and the time. That is going to give you the confidence. It really is. So buy yourself a really beautiful book, spend a bit of money on that book, make it a pretty book that is just for your spiritual journeying. Write down your meditations, write down the information that you got, a thought that you had that is quite profound. You can call them downloads, you can call them whatever you want. I just want to say something about some of these nasty people. I've been unfortunate, and I hope it's okay to talk about it, but I basically have my husband turned out to be a paedophile. My husband.
His husband? You mean your ex-husband?
Not Gregg.
Of course not.
Yes. So he turned out to be a paedophile, and so did my daughter's biological father. And they both abused my daughter. And I didn't know. These people have got a hidden personality that they keep it's like a demonic energy that comes out, and you can't tell sometimes. And so just be aware. You think, oh, I trust that person, because I'd feel it. Sometimes you don't. And so just keep a really close look of your children out there, guys, because they're getting cleverer. They're getting cleverer. So yeah, it's I believe this is what there's more pedophiles out there now than ever before. To me, I feel that they're not born like that. Something happens, and I feel as if there are demonic entities attaching themselves to men who might have been into porn or whatever, and it's like they always want the better fix, and I feel that it gets to a point where they're then open to other suggestions coming from the demonic energies. And so I wanted to say, as I'm on this platform, if there is anybody out there who's watching this and they feel as if some of their thoughts are not their own, and they're not liking it, contact me, and we'll do a cutting of the cords, and we'll do a protection around you, because let's try and prevent anything that might happen. You don't even have to tell me why you want a cord cutting, because a cord cutting could help you with, you know, you keep going back to the same partner who treats you terribly, but you can't seem to break free, you know, that is, cord cutting is good for that, because it might be a past life thing, you know, that you keep going back to that person. So I'd offer it free to anybody who wants that and feels that that might be happening. So
I love you so much, but you are not doing it for free, okay? Because you have 1,000 people, and some of them will not have the best intentions, and they will take advantage of you. I can't allow it. So we need people to be sensible, respect you, and come forward, and you'll decide what it is you do, but you'll be very strict, because you know there are some people out there that'll go, oh, let's get a free reading off Ali, that don't need it. You know, they'll just take advantage of you, when you know there are always, we feel them. We know the ones. We know the ones that need it. With the energies you're talking about, you know, when these people, these, let's say men, of course it happens to women too, and those that don't believe they have any kind of gender, it happens to everybody, not every single person, of course, but it happens in those you know, in our beingness, that there is so much demonic frequency energy inside of people right now, and they want to loose energy from the little ones. And you know, years ago, like in school, which I think is a pretty useless place to be, but I remember learning the first about, you know, Vlad the Impaler, you know, an actual prince who loved to stab and then, you know, behead and then hold up the heads of the people he'd slain, a mile long of dead bodies. You know, I am Vlad the Impaler from Transylvania, you know, area. And that whole kind of Dracula's kind of energy was born from that. And then that got merged with the energy of a story of a woman, a wise woman, a witch, a dark witch, who would basically take virgins who hadn't yet also had past first blood, and would do whatever she did to them, and basically bathe in their, you know, in their fluid from their bodies. And apparently those two stories got merged together to be you know, Vlad the vampiric. But whether they did or they didn't, the fact remains that today there are, you mentioned the men that need the high, the adrenal high, higher and higher and higher and higher. These billionaires are like, oh my God, I've golfed, I've shagged 10 women tonight, I've this, that, and the women too, the women too. But people have to understand that they need that it's an orgasmic high, it's a physiology, and they're seeking higher and higher and higher, and they're looking for more and more sicker and sicker and sicker things, because the depravity switches, because something is attaching to push them into getting more of a high. And so you're right in the kind of the, you know, you said about demons attaching, the demons attach. Again, the leaders were looking at me like, how? No, they could never. But they're owned. They've made agreements. They've sold their souls. They've made agreements. The lust for power, that feeling of that high, has put them into soul contracts, unbreakable contracts with demonic elements. And so when the church is telling people, don't you do yoga? All right, just get really fat, sit in your seat, eat those pills, don't do any stretching, don't do any exercise. It is a sick, cruel lie across religion, across churches, across leaders, across governments, that trick the people. And it is why, Ali, we've got to like put that love out there for our brothers and our sisters to say, listen, people like Ali are here to support you, to show you who you are. He's got nothing to do with putting a spell on you, and it is the opposite. The spelling is happening on television. The spelling is happening in our churches. The spelling is happening, you know, where you're told, oh, don't do anything physical like that. Don't do yoga, you know, which to me is that don't stretch your body. don't
Yeah.
do Tai Chi, don't, what do you say to
They
that?
don't want us to evolve. They don't want us to awaken the pineal gland and decalcify. They don't want all of that. Yeah. Because then we'll know our power. And they want to keep us slaves. This is one big concentration camp that we're actually in. And we can choose to feel like a slave, or we can say, F you, I'm not doing that. I'm going to be my own person. And I don't have to live by your rules and regulations. So I'm not doing it.
That is right.
So,
That is right. Something popped up on YouTube, and it was the story of that. Was it Jim Jones? Anyway, some freakoid who used his charismatic looks, clearly owned by demons, and started this cult out in South America.
yeah.
Oh my God, the story's terrible. And this little girl who's now a woman, Tracy. Oh my God, her story. But the hoodwinking and the seeking, humans, we're seeking that love. And the thing for me is, like when people, like let's say when people feel the love they have for Jesus, or the love they have for the Prophet Muhammad, or Allah, and it raises a rapture, a happiness, a joy in them. A Hindu the same, and a Buddhist, and a whatever. That I wish people would understand that love, that love, that love that comes through faith, that love that is the divine, that is you, the
Yeah.
divinity in you,
Yeah.
going home, connecting to home, but home is in you. That is
Yeah.
love, and you can name it whatever you like. I remember years ago talking to a man who said, everybody needs to know Jesus. They do, they're going to die. They're. And I said to the man, I said, can I ask you a question? And this was a prolific preacher going across the world, right, trying to save souls, because of course
Yeah.
we're all sinners, which is bullshit. We're not all
Yeah.
sinners. How dare they? How dare
Yeah.
anyone say a beautiful newborn baby's a sinner? Original
Yeah.
sin. Shut up. We're done. We
Yeah.
have to be done being controlled.
Yes. Yeah.
I literally said, everyone needs to be saved. They're all sinners. And I said, okay, let's take, for example, there's an old lady. She's 100 years old. She lives
Yeah.
in the jungle in India. She's never
Yeah.
been anywhere. She's birthed a family. She's raised a family. She's raised her grandchildren. She's the one making the naan bread every day,
Yeah.
and the baba ganoush or whatever she's making. And I said, she's never been out the village. And I said, she's had no opportunity to meet Jesus. And he said, well, that's her lookout. That's her fault. And I'm like, you can't
Wow.
honestly believe that. Do you believe that? He said, yes, it's everybody's, everybody needs to know Jesus. And even if just people who are Christians, let's say, just think about that for a minute. It's bloody ludicrous, because I know if
Yeah.
Jesus was alive today, physically in the
Yep.
body, sitting here talking to you, Ali, let's say,
Yeah.
no, I'm not
Yeah.
saying I'm Jesus, for God's sake.
Yes. Yeah.
Saying everybody is me. He would say, I want everyone to know they are amazing. Let's all self-realize
Yes.
together. This is why we're so repressed. Because if we're kept in fear, we can't realize the love that we are. We can't hit
Right.
that high divine frequency. And that's our job, right? Coming back to
Yeah.
divinity, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. We are very special. It's like somebody said to me in the development group, it's like, oh, I'm not as good as that person, not as good as that person. You cannot compare between somebody who's been coming to psychic development for 15 or 20 years and comparing with you. You are your own power charge, and you're going to be good at something that maybe they're not good at. And just it's like I can see the spirit guides, they're kind of looking down going, oh my goodness, really, do they not remember what sort of warrior they are when they're sleeping? Do they not realize what a powerful person they've just forgotten? They've come down here, they're living this life, and they've forgotten. But as soon as you start to develop your psychic side, your spiritual side, and you start to awaken, I feel as if it's like, oh, hi, I've missed you. That has been missing from my life. Not finding your spiritual side is holding you back. definitely from having a fulfilled life, for sure.
Yeah, and we've come into the physical body to self-realize, to get in touch with all
Yes,
these amazing abilities we have, and that's one of the biggest lies of all humanity, is that
yes,
we're not told that. We're not told, even as babies, you know, when we get into the system, we're not told how amazing, how special. We're not honored at school. We're not honored at play school. We're not honored at, you know, growing up through our lives. We're not. Children should be made to feel they are the most amazing beings, that they are the love, they are the purest form of love, and why there's such an attention for the dark. However, because now this one film has erupted in ways that nobody saw coming, not even the makers. Nobody
no,
saw this
no,
explosion of love and light and passion, that the
yes,
hardest, most miserable, you know, that doesn't want to do anything harmful to a child is going to be touched, is totally going to
yeah,
be
definitely. And
definitely.
have you seen it's awakened all the men now? There were very few spiritual men out there, you know, who were doing stuff. There was not that many, it was mainly women. But now all the men are starting to, you know, rise up and speak, because it's to do with protecting the children. You know, you're going after the children now. That's my limit. I'm not going to sit back and take the mickey out of, you know, my wife for being spiritual. I'm going to stand shoulder to shoulder with her now. You know, I'm going to do whatever I can. I'm going to pray. I'm going to awaken. I'm going to start to speak out about the children. And you're seeing these men just shine now, and I'm loving watching all the videos. You know, their wives might have dragged them to see Sound of Freedom, go, oh, this is going to be a load of shit, isn't it? You know, and you see them sit there and melt
Mm.
and just realize all that you've been saying is true. You know, and you can see the dark side. They just want to hold this back and pretend that this is just fake. You know, this isn't real. But I think that the film is so powerfully done. It's so well written and it's so well acted that nobody can go out of that cinema. They can't and not believe that that's the truth.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, again, despite the retardos flipping the news, I mean, the other great thing is anybody with half a bean for a brain is going to witness. Like, we all know this trafficking's been happening forever.
Mm.
Like, nobody truly knows. Otherwise, what are they, psychopathic? Like, there's something so like, dude, and we know. And
Mm.
they're watching these, I don't even know what to call them, things, people pretending to be people, saying, oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's a conspiracy theory, evil,
Mm. Yeah,
evil, beyond evil. But people are
yeah,
so clever, and we are always moved to love and kindness. And so we're recognizing the psyop, the psychological operations.
yes,
We're recognizing the brainwashing. We're
yes,
recognizing that the media is always is trying to make a thing which people then worry about. Oh my God, if I say this, I'm going to be isolated. We don't care. They always underestimated the power of love and
yes,
passion. This is when we
yes,
tap on and we turn on everything internally that's been
yeah,
shut down in us. We're not fearful of the man, because we are going to rescue and we are going to fight and we are going to find and we are going to change everything for the little ones. And the little ones, the most powerful beings on the most, what we would think, vulnerable, powerless,
yeah,
are clearly showing up with their, you know, energy frequency, and we're all responding to it. And what
yeah,
about over the years socially engineered men who've been demasculated? They've been
yes,
made to sit down, shut up, let the women come through, don't repress
yeah,
women, and now they're scared of all these alpha women. And like you
mm,
say, even that program has been destabilized because now the men
yes,
are easy. It's
it's
just
true.
amazing. What would
It's
you
true.
say,
It's
Ali,
true.
if you had a guy in front of you who has been trying to find his fit, trying to find his place, and, you know, seeing all of this, how would you advise somebody like that right now?
I'd say open your heart, even if you've been in a painful situation in the past. You can either again stay there and be that victim and, you know, hurt and be in pain, or you can stand up for something that you know is right, and stand up for what you believe in, you know, the children, you know, grow a pair basically, and stop hiding behind, oh, I can't because, and it's like, who says who, you know, get
Yeah.
out there. Can I
Wow.
just mention that on Saturday the 29th of July, I'm going to be doing some readings for Operation Underground Railroad.
Oh.
So I'm going to be doing, it's going to be an all-day thing from 10 a.m. Eastern. I don't know how long, it'll be all day, all evening. And that's 2 p.m. UK. And we've got a few other readers who've said that they'll come along and offer some readings, and it just, whatever money will go to Operation Underground Railroad, because I think they're doing an amazing job, and I couldn't think of a better charity.
Oh, Ali, that's so wonderful. And so whereabouts in England can people come and attend this physical in-person event?
It's not a physical, it's going to be online.
Hey,
So
girl.
yeah.
All right, give us a bit more information. How can they find you? How can they log on and get readings?
So that's going to be on in 5D. So in 5D YouTube, or My Psychic Alley. So we're going to stream on both of those. So yeah, it will be from 10 a.m. Eastern. So just come along. I'm going to be doing like a raffle and a giveaway and things like that as well. So yeah.
Wow, incredible. And if people want to do your psychic or spiritual or love development classes,
Yeah.
how do they find them?
Contact me on my website, psychicalley.net. So contact me on there, and I'll send you the schedule of where we are at the moment. So yeah, every 10 weeks, if you do 10 weeks or the majority of the 10 weeks, then you get sent a certificate to say that you've done those 10 weeks, and then I'll write another 10-week course, and then another 10-week course. But I also do workshops. They're 6-hour workshops, and that's for tarot, level 1, level 2, level 3, and professional. So yeah.
Wow, Ali, this is great. This is so great. Is there anything else left on your heart at this stage? Because obviously we're going to, play more together. Is there anything else left on your heart at this stage of our broadcast that you would also like to share?
I want to share you, because I think, I know, but you are such a shining light, and I love the way that you love other people, and that you're using your channel to help other people, because you know how shadow banned me and Greg are. You know, most people will go live and they'll have, I don't know, a couple of hundred people come. When we go live, me and Greg, we're lucky if we get 30 or 40. You know, unless we're on Rumble. On Rumble, it's getting very busy. It's good. It's getting good. But you know that, and you've just, your heart is so big, and I just that's what I want to say. I'm just so grateful for you, and I watch you and Elena Danon. I watch her, and I watch all the interviews and things. I just, you know, you're doing an amazing job. So yeah, that's what I want to say.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Ali. It's true. Even yesterday when Greg and I put our broadcast out, Greg, your husband, who was
Good. Yeah.
he's been a leader since before 2009. He's been teaching, developing. He was leading conferences before he was signing a Laura Eisenhower up, and Lisa, oh God, what's her name? Lisa, but she's somebody people really like. Lisa Reiner. Oh God, sorry. Anyway, he was a forerunner, and what I noticed was when we put our broadcast out yesterday, the views, there's always tons of people in the live chat. And I was looking, thinking, oh my God, I haven't seen it that low since I started 2 years ago. So you guys are so targeted because they don't have
we
the
are.
light out there. Well, too
Yeah.
bad. Too bad.
Yeah.
Nobody gets to dim the sun. Right. Nobody gets to dim the sunshine. So yeah, so I also mentioned the fact that I can't believe people with bigger channels aren't sharing more. People, like, I think if you have a platform, we're lucky enough to have people that listen and that trust us. We should be sharing each other. Share each other. People are like,
I
oh,
think
they've
Mark
got
Atwood, I think, oh sorry, it all went quiet then. I think Mark Atwood, we might be going on Mark Atwood. So yeah, so fingers crossed.
He's taken down. He hasn't got a channel right now.
Oh, was he? Oh, well, that's that then. See,
Yeah, his channel's been taken down again. He's had like 3 channels, but I know he's very, very big on Twitter. Yeah, so yeah, I know.
shame,
So
because
many
I like Mark. I love his poetry. You know, we see you, that poem. It's like, you know, we're going to shed the light on you. You can't hide in the darkness anymore.
Yeah, the
Very
darkness
powerful.
definitely is getting the light shone on its face, and people like
Oh yeah.
Gregg, there to hold the light and to gently. Another thing about the two of you is this really sweet, non-threatening, non-pushy, just very gentle love. And there are people that can only come and feel safe with people like you and Gregg. Yeah, and they know they're going to be looked after. I'll tell you one thing I want to mention. I want to mention that you are so my girl in terms of the bling bling bling. And I'm
It's very fun.
Paris, you know, and I really want to say, right, to all girls, women, you know, anybody, no matter what you consider yourself to be, feel pretty. If you want to feel pretty, like bling it up. I've told the story a few times, but I went into Claire's accessories before the conference last year. I wanted to get, I already had this tiara.
I love that band. I love that.
I wore it so much in Costa Rica, and everything gets destroyed in Costa Rica because you're in the jungle, there's humidity, and it's just junk jewelry, you know. So I was buying another one, and I was like buying 3 or 4 other like tiaras, and these 2 girls are wrapping up my stuff. Oh, she's so pretty. And then they were like, oh, how old's your granddaughter?
For me.
Off, you know, but we've got to get rid of this nonsense that society has socially engineered you, lady. Don't have long hair, don't color it blonde or black or red or blue, don't wear fake diamonds, don't wear your bling thing, you know, or what you're wearing watch for. I like it, I'm gonna wear it, you know. Tell us women in our, you know, late 40s, early 50s, like etc., what we can and can't do up to our whenever we just planet. What
exactly.
What's your message to those people?
Messages: be you, and don't be afraid to be you. And you know, don't wait to wear your best dress. You got to wait for a night out. How many nights out have you had? Because that seems to have slowed right down, which if you're good at organizing, get on the phone to all your friends and say, we're going to get dressed up and we're going out. You know, when all the lockdowns were happening, everybody was like craving to get together. And then as soon as the lockdowns were lifted, nobody's arranging anything to go out anymore, to get people physically together. Book a restaurant, book it up, and invite everybody and invite their friends, get them to invite their friends. And so you're already meeting new people, you know. And if you're single, you say bring a single friend with you, you know, so that way that you're then kind of helping other people to meet people that you want, you know. And don't wait for that dress, you know, don't hold that dress back for some other occasion, wear it now.
It's so British. It's such a British thing, isn't it? Oh, your Sunday best. You know, I remember when I was working for a aristocracy family as their nursery nurse, and the little baby, I loved her so much, Millie. She had a whole wardrobe full of Christine Dior, and I've never seen dresses like it, but I wasn't remotely intimidated by anything, by wealth or anything. I was born that way. And I'm like, well, I'm going to put her in a Christine Dior today. We're just going to go and play at the park, because what a flipping waste. And again, babies, they grow out of everything so quick. I remember the mum, she's so lovely. The mum was like, oh, Dani, I'd never thought of that before. Because they're so programmed, so many people Sunday best. I'm like, let's get it on her every day. Wait for your son to get. It's like if you go to the store, you go to Sainsbury's or Publix or wherever, Tesco's, doesn't matter. Put your bling on, put your dress on, just feel good about you and go out and feel like that. Maybe you felt more confident years ago when you were younger and you kind of lost it, and like put some slap on your face. And like, who is to say one thing? I had to sit my mum down years ago and really tell her off. Because she's a real introvert, my mum. Like, she's so shy about everything and doesn't want to be the center of attention. And she one day she told me that she had to cut her hair. I'm like, why? She goes, well, I'm over 40 now. I'm like, oh, that's just...
Yeah, somebody said that to me. Yeah.
Someone said that to you?
It was very funny. Yesterday when me and Greg were on, and I had this plait in my hair, and then as soon as the camera was off, I unclipped, because this is like a clip-on thing. This is not my hair. It's like a clip-on thing, and I said, right, I'm going to change this over and put my curly one on now. He was just in fits of laughter, because it's like, yeah, then that's not real. These are not real. Those are real, but it's like darn great things. I wish they weren't. Take them off and give my back a rest.
Funny.
But and I think let's have some pride, ladies and gents. Let's have some pride in ourselves, because a lot of people are there. They're just so kind of like, I don't want to draw attention to myself. It's like, does it? I put a bit of makeup on when I'm not going out sometimes, because it makes me feel better about me. But I admire people who can go out without makeup as well. I absolutely admire that. I'm not one of those. I won't put my bins out without my face on. I do it.
Love it.
And if someone knocks on the door, it's like they can stay knocking on the door. It's not happening.
Well, you like the door, the box on your head with 2 holes, hello.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Honestly, somebody delivered my food shopping, and I'd forgotten that my food shopping, because if I have my food shopping, it's like I've got to get up 2 hours beforehand, put my face on. And remember, I'm on nights, so kind of 2 o'clock is my morning. It's my 9 a.m. So of course, when the delivery, and I could not answer the door. I said, oh, you'll have to leave it outside the door. I couldn't go out because I didn't have my face on. I mean, that's just utterly ridiculous. There's an extreme to that.
Well, we all have our thing to work on, don't we? But you know what? Even owning that. See, that's the other difference again with you. You don't pretend there's nothing for you to work on. Everyone's got something to work on. But with your skill set, you're so honed and long-term practice that you know what you can, with complete confidence, help others with. But yeah, we still have our, of course we do. I think that when we're completely done and we've done everything, that's when we check out, we leave. That's my thought.
Yeah, exactly.
So good to have something to, even if it's a skill like writing a book or riding a horse or whatever. Well, I love hanging out with you, and I'm glad we got that feeling pretty bit in. I was really hoping that we would remember that between us. And
that was good.
Yeah, when I was getting ready to see you today, I was like, I know she's going to rock up with the hair and the lips, and the jewelry, and because I often sit on my channel like this, again, to say to people, look, just whatever makes you feel good. It really. And you know, one thing, just again, while we're on this subject, one thing that's always driven me absolutely nuts. If I've ever had a boyfriend that's ever said or done this to me, I learned the hard way, as often sometimes we do. But why are you wearing that perfume? I like it. Who are you
Yeah.
wearing it for? Why are you wearing
Oh,
it? Right? It's like,
oh,
run away.
yeah.
You
If
say
they get into
goodbye,
that,
right? You
yeah,
say goodbye. Why are you wearing that dress? Why are you going out like that? When you
yeah,
are truly completely innocent, when you are
yeah,
truly completely
yes,
innocent with no intention to flirt or get with somebody else, that is a controller right there. It works both ways too. That is a controller. And we
definitely.
cannot let ourselves at this stage of ascension in our
No,
lives be
yeah,
controlled in the house, in the home, by lovers, husbands, wives, whatever. We just
yeah.
cannot. No, we got to grow. It's our job to grow. And if someone doesn't want to grow with you, then they don't want to
Yeah.
grow with you, right?
Well,
But
this
don't
is why there's so many single women now. There are so men. There's so many single people because you would rather be on your own than put up with being treated like that. You know, I mean, I've added in as an extra to the readings now, where I've got these emotional cards, and I always pick. I do kind of like step by step readings, so you'll have a prediction the beginning of the month, the middle of the month, and the end of the month. But at the beginning of the month, I'll also add in emotional cards. So it's like, this is how you're going to feel. This is the emotional lesson that you're going to be going through this month. And this is where your perfect partner is emotionally. And so you have that progression, so you can see your perfect partner and what sort of personality traits they're going through, and you can pick up on them. And what it does is it acts like a magnet, and it goes out there because you're now finding out who they are and how they are making you feel. So and it stops you panicking. Where are they? Why aren't they coming? I've been single for a long time. I'm sick of being single. I want to meet someone. Well, it stops all that kind of chasing energy because you're saying, well, I'm not quite ready yet because emotionally I've got these lessons I've got to go through. And you can also then see your perfect partner and see, well, yeah, they're not quite ready yet. So I'm not in a rush to meet them. So, it's I think it's a good way of reading. And I don't just do that in just love life readings. I do that in every reading if somebody wants me to look into it.
Wow. Wow. That's so wonderful. So exciting, and a really kind of unique way to give somebody a reading, to know and prepare them that they're going to get these different elements in that reading, Ali. That is just amazing, amazing, amazing. Well, I love you. I adore you. I'm so happy
I
to
love
know
you
you.
too.
I love to share your frequency, your beautiful smile. I love watching you and your husband. You are the funniest, giggliest girl. I mean, you just are sunshine. I mean, you just are sunshine, and you're just so dedicated to humanity. You guys are always live. Amazing.
Yeah,
I want to come to you for final words to our audience, Ali.
just keep shining. Just keep shining. And you know, yes, there is ugly things going on in the world, but you don't stay there. Don't stay in that vibration energy because it's not going to help anybody. We need to be creating the future that we want. How do you want your world to be? Speak about that every day. Just say, I can't wait until this universe shifts into another dimension and we can then have a piece of heaven on earth, without all of this, government restrictions and, you know, um, the elite trying to control us. Just visualize it being different, because you are creating. The more people that can create that, we're going to break free of their matrix.
Beautiful, beautiful, Ali. Thank you so much. And again, to remind everyone that you are available for one-to-one readings, for spiritual and love
Yes.
development, for the event that's coming up on Saturday, 29th of July, that will be on in 5D on YouTube, in5d.net.
Yep.
Website with your husband Gregg, and also on psychically.net. So they can drop in, give a donation. Those funds go directly
Yes.
to the Sound of Freedom
Yeah.
efforts. That's wonderful, Ali. I know that I will have you back. I know people are going to be so excited to have shared time with you today, and find out more about you and listen to your thoughts and the things that you came to say. Thank you so much, Ali. So good to have you here.
Thank you.
To you guys out there, sending you so much love from my heart to yours, as always. I am Dani Henderson, and I will see you soon.
Bye.